Hello everybody, I guess we are live. Can everybody hear me? Yeah, there are already some people gathering around right here. Lots of quite familiar names. But everybody who is just coming here for a steak today, I kind of need to say that there won't be a steak today in the Prusa, but I have something different. Since, well, we can always just make steak. Moin Christoph, hi Nick, hi Andy. Hello, ignore my chan. Yeah, how are you guys doing? Is quality all right? Let's see. Okay, there are already some. So weather is kind of bad here in Germany, so there might be at least some staying at home today and are able to watch the live stream. Everything sharp again. Yeah, perfect. So today I have something which I have been waiting for quite a while, and it finally came in the mail yesterday, I guess, after some problems with customs and stuff like that. And yeah, we have something different today. It's not just gonna be the standard FDM printer, but it's actually going to be my first resin-based 3D printer, which was again kindly sent by GearBest. Yeah, I have been asking them for a while if they have a resin printer in their program. It well, took them now like some months, but finally, since I guess 1 or 2 weeks, there is this DLP resin printer available on GearBest. If you are interested in the specs, price and stuff like that, everything down in the description. Let's see who has also joined. Bonjour, animal. So French guys right here. Drucktips 3D also here, not too far away. Hello to you guys there. Yeah, Ashik, I remember you. You asked quite a lot of questions last time. I hope that you progressed in the things you were doing. Yeah, so I guess we will just dive right in. As I said, I received this package yesterday. I probably should remove the stickers there. So this printer is, I think, a rebrand, but it's the new resin-based 3D printer from FLSUN, the so-called FLSUN S. Let's see. It supposedly has a full HD screen in there, so this printer is not working with a laser, so no SLA printing like the form printers, for example, but there is an LCD screen, there is a UV lamp below, and this LCD screen is just turning pixels on and off, and therefore more or less exposing the layers. Yeah, I have already seen the Formlabs printer in action like 2.5 years ago when I was on an exhibition, and it's quite nice to see, but the price tag is pretty high. So so far I wasn't really able to purchase one of these. especially since I didn't know what is really the application where you can use it for. Is it only a printer which can be used for something like a model maker who is printing out like chess figures and stuff like that? Or are there also mechanical stuff you can do with that? What's chat saying? How much is the printer? So the printer is currently available on GearBest for just 500 bucks, which is kind of a good price. There are other kind of similar printers around who are also in this price range, but 500 bucks for the printer, including, I think, some resin, I hope, at least. Otherwise, I don't have any. Yeah, I guess we should just take a look at the box and see what we have, what we find on the inside. Okay, so the packaging was quite interesting. Let's switch the camera. So it came in this, well, kind of small box. Still, it's pretty heavy. But the printer is only packed on the lower and on the upper side in foam, nothing else in there. I gotta be honest, I have already got this out of the box when I did the thumbnail for the video, but I haven't really done a lot so far. So I think we'll just dive right in, take the printer out of the box and see what we get. Christoph, is there still World of Warcraft around? I thought this is dead for like decades already. Okay, so as I said, the printer is quite heavy. Let's see. I'll just put it on the floor. Okay, so there it is. Chinese letters on the bottom right here. Can't really say what that means, but there we go. This is a pretty heavy printer. I guess what we directly see is we have an LCD screen in the front. I think this is already something really positive about this printer because, for example, the older Wenhao printers, they always needed to be plugged into a PC via HDMI. So you had to use a PC next to it. You had to make sure that the printer, that the PC or the laptop was running all of the time. With this is a totally autonomous system. You just put in your thumb drive, you select the files. It supposedly even has a built-in slicer, and then it just prints and just needs to be plugged into the wall. Let's see, are there already some questions? Sebastian, why I chose it over the Wenhao D7 or the Anycubic Photon? Well, as I said, this printer was sent to me by GearBest, and they only have the FLSUN S, well, for sale, and so this is the only one which I could get. Can you open the electronics compartment? Well, we can probably do that later. I don't know how, if this is a lot of work to do, but maybe it's interesting to take a sneak peek inside. I think we won't have to do a lot of assembly with this one. I think it comes more or less pre-assembled, so I think it's just plug and play. Is DLP suitable for... Oh, using it at home. So I haven't been using any DLP printing so far, but since you are working with resins, it's a mess. They are potentially dangerous to your health if you are getting them on your skin, if you inhale the well, just the steam and stuff like that. I wouldn't run one of these printers in my bedroom, but I also wouldn't run a FDM printer in my bedroom. I think it's doable. I don't know how much the resin is going to smell. I think if I'm doing something, I'll just put it in my basement where I'm not for longer periods of time, and then I think it's totally fine. You need to mess around with the resin. The resin is pretty expensive, to be honest. But yeah, as I said, I don't have lots of experience, or actually any experience, with DLP or SLA printers. So for this reason, I asked GearBest to send me one of these, that I can try it out and see what are really the use cases for such a machine. Okay, there was also a bag of, well, not really goodies, also delivered with the printer, which contains a thumb drive, which looks like a Kingston one, but I am quite sure that this is not a genuine. Well, at least it says Kingston in the back. I don't know if it's really a genuine Kingston thumb drive, but yeah, DT. Well, thumb drive, maybe with some crypto mining software in the background as soon as I plug it into my machine. We have a face protection, mouth protection. I don't know what's that for. That's not really going to help you not inhale anything which is coming out of the resin. So I think this is just for the bin. Gloves, that's pretty important, because you don't want to touch the resin. There are many people around who are sensitive or get sensitized over time to the resin. It's just not healthy. Always wear gloves. So yeah, they delivered one. I'll just throw it in the bin and take some, or use some good ones. Let's see what's chat saying. Does Full HD mean that you can only print in, well, Full HD blocks? Yeah, this is right. So there is a screen below the vat where the resin is. So the resolution of your print is just only one, well, is the width of 1 pixel. But I did some calculation before, and the size of 1 pixel is, I think, let's give me a second, 60 microns, so 60 micrometers, or 2000 in imperial units. This is pretty accurate. Your FDM printer will not have this kind of resolution. There is some discussion whether you will get even higher resolution with a SLA printer where you're using a laser. In theory, yes, but depending on the resolution of the Galvo scanner, you will not get infinite resolution with the printer. I don't know. As I've said, I haven't been working with one of these machines so far. But I think in the course of the next weeks, I'll find out how it works, and I'll tell you what you can do with the prints, what you can do with the printer, maybe even try out some other resins. Yeah, I'm really excited, because I have only been working with FDM printers so far, at least at home. Daniel, pixels per inch. I don't know what how many PPI do we have, but 1 pixel is around 60 micrometers or around 2/1000 of an inch wide. So the print area, as I said, you can check out the specs in the description. I currently don't have them available right here, but give me 1 second. What is the print volume? So the print volume of the machine is, where is it? It's not saying it in here. Where is it? Damn it. I think it's around 150 millimeters by 80 millimeters or something like that. Oh no, sorry. So the print volume you can do is 108 by 68 by 200 millimeters. So it's not the biggest, but as I said, resin is kind of expensive. Resolution is quite high, so you're usually printing with quite thin layers. So this is usually not a machine which you would use to print really big parts. Okay. Yeah, the print volume is not on the GearBest page, but if you're going on the sales page there, it's mentioned. Okay, yeah, as I said, I think we'll just dive right in and we will open the lid. The lid, to be honest, is really, really heavy. So this is, I think, at least 1.5 millimeter aluminum. This weighs 2 kilos, 3 kilos. Looks quite nice, so has a matte finish. It prevents the light from the outside going in, so you don't want to cure your resin just by sunlight, because this would ruin your prints. This thing also acts as a UV chamber. So what that means is you are only, during the printing process, you are only partially curing your resin, and you need to harden out the print in the end, well, totally, that you can just touch it with your fingers. You can just put them into the sunlight or use, well, just UV LEDs, which are also in here. So when the print is finished, you can just use this lid, put the prints under it, plug it in, and then maybe after an hour or even less, your prints are totally cured and you can work with them in their finished state. All right. Okay, so what also do we have in here? I'm looking for something to drink, but there is nothing around, so let's just start with the unhealthy stuff. Cheers. Ta-dum. Okay, let's see. 3D Gosner, hey. All right, so this is wrapped in, well, transparent foil, cling wrap, or I don't know, Frischhaltefolie here in Germany. Yeah, let's grab a knife. I think this will make it easier to open it. I already see a container of resin on the inside, so that's good for the start. Okay, I'll just need to pay attention a little bit that I don't poke into the container of resin and I don't cut my finger off. because I don't want to end up in the emergency room tonight. Is the Prusa cooking? Yeah, it is cooking. No steak today, so hi to all vegetarians. We're gonna have some actually vegan stuff today. Recipe is in the description. This has already been cooking on the Prusa for, let's see, I think half an hour. So it should be finished in an hour or so. Hopefully when the machine is printing and I get hungry. Lots. I'm actually quite interested to see if everything is working out, because I don't know, this thing is pretty heavy, and during shipping I'm quite sure that it got tossed around quite a bit. But that's always the thing if you are ordering stuff from China. Okay. Ugh. I don't want to damage anything. Why can't I start a 3D printing business? Because I don't want to be self-employed. Or at least not full-time. But in my professional job, I'm actually working as a 3D printing engineer. Not with plastics, but with metals. So I'm doing lots of 3D printing every day at work, and then I come home and continue 3D printing at home. At home usually with way less expensive machines. Okay, so we have the resin. Let's get this open. Chimpera 1, are you sure it's a DLP, not an LCD? I am sure that it has an LCD, but in my opinion, that also means a DLP, because, well, if you have a UV projector, it's also UV light, then an LCD. So, yeah, I think this is a DLP printer. All right, so we have 500 grams of resin. Let's just give me 1 second. Let's see if I can switch cameras, that I can show you what is on the inside. So we have 3D printer UV resin, water wash resin. So I have read a little bit about that. So it's not necessary anymore to wash your prints later with isopropanol. It's actually even not recommended, because this will destroy the resin a little. Yeah, 500 grams, shore hardness. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what the other values, if they're important for the moment. It says a little bit about the mechanical properties, so it should be quite heat resistant. So glass transition temperature 104 degrees, tensile strength 9000 psi. I don't know the conversion. If anybody can convert that into megapascals for me, I would be happy. Yeah, all right. And I guess this is our power brick. Yep, there we go. I guess somebody has already mentioned before in the comments that this is not a totally new printer, meaning that I'm quite sure that this is a rebrand of the Micromake L2 printer, which has already been around for a couple of months. They changed some of the parts. I'm quite interested to see if they have also changed the software and stuff like that. We will see. Lewis, thank you. 62 megapascal. So that's actually pretty strong. But I guess since most of you know my channel, I have my tensile testing machine, and I'm looking forward to really check out the mechanical properties and also the thermal properties of such a resin printer. Do you know if it's resin agnostic? I don't know what that means. Sorry. There is kind of a strong smell from somewhere, which smells like two-part resin, epoxy resin. It's probably coming from the bottle. So this already gives me an idea how it's probably gonna stink in here later. The power brick is one of the really dangerous ones, because they are, let's change the cameras, it's easier for you to see. So usually it ships with, I think, a US plug, and they only deliver it with this adapter right here for at least use here in Germany. But if you would plug this in, you will have live metal exposed right here. So this is horribly dangerous. It says right here that it is CE conformant. Where does it say it? Or China export, I don't know. But yeah, this is dangerous. It's probably a good idea to change this power brick out if you wanna work with this printer for a longer period of time, or put this into shrink tubing or something like that. Okay. Yeah, Miggy Man Mike, he just checked out the Micromake on AliExpress, and it looks the same. Yeah, as I said, from the outer appearance, it's totally the same, besides the name right here in the front where it says FLSUN on my machine. I have also seen some other footage of this printer where this was only etched, but now it's laser cut. So they have probably shipped some prototypes before to some other reviewers, and this maybe is a real production unit. Zach Russell, he had an FLSUN Delta. Yeah, I have never used one of the FLSUN printers so far. This printer right here is way less complex than a standard FDM printer, because it only has one axis right here, the Z-axis, which is a trapezoidal lead screw. And then probably below here, there is the LCD screen, and then just maybe a Raspberry Pi or some mini computer, which is changing the things which are displayed on the display. So this is the VAT. Yeah, we can remove it, and I think, yeah, so these VATs, they have this well, this foil below here, which is, I think, made out of Teflon, and they are pretty expensive. And you really need to pay attention that you don't damage these. So I will be patient, or I will take care. Then let's switch to the other camera again, that you can see what I'm seeing. Okay, so so this is probably the LCD screen. It is taped in by some 3M Scotch tape. Not probably the best thing you can do. Yeah, and that's basically it. Stepper motor below here, optical end stop right here, 2 screws, touch screen in the front, and that's basically it. Okay, I will attach the VAT again, yeah, to the printer. We don't need the lid at the moment. I haven't seen any manual delivered with the printer. We probably check out the thumb drive which came with the printer, and see if we have any manual on it. Okay. How much costs one of this printers? So the printer is 500 bucks. On GearBest, links are all down below in the description. Don't touch it. So somebody was asking, is this protective sheet taped in? I don't know. Let's check. I think so. What we can see right here in the back is that there is one bracket which is going around the VAT, where I think this protective sheet is just, well, held into place, so nothing glued there. Okay. All right. Yeah, I guess that's basically it. Unboxing is done. Assembly is more or less done. So the next thing for us is really just maybe find a manual, and then, well, try it out. Where did I buy the printer? I didn't buy the printer. It was kindly sent to me by GearBest. Affiliate link down in the description. Yeah, as always, if you buy a printer there, I get some kickback, which well, helps me run the channel. They send cool stuff to me, which is making me happy. I know that not everybody had the greatest experience with them, but I guess most of the time it's working out. And yeah, China's far away. If you're saving on shipping, it can cause some hassle with customs and stuff like that. Customer support is not the best, but there usually are also other SLA or DLP printers which you can buy locally, which might be more expensive, which will probably be more expensive, but where you just have warranty and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, I guess let's plug in the stick. I'm a little scared, just as always, that I start to be a crypto miner. So CPU is currently at 10%. Let's see if that's getting any higher. Okay. There we go. So, what do we have on the USB drive? Come on. I hate touchpads. Damn it. There you go. Okay, so there is the folder FLSUN, then we have the FLSUN Control Center, FLSUN Creation Workshop, the test model, and the product manual. There we go. Let's see what they are telling us in here. Why is Genius Link sending you to France? Ah, because you're from Belgium, aren't you? Sorry. Okay. Product manual, FLSUN, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Power. Don't operate it in outdoor. When any resin or liquid is found inside of the machine, please clear it immediately. Store the printer in original package when not in use. Cut off the power supply before you store the printer. Connect the power to the printer. Check the circuit before printing. Turn off the printer immediately when the power has a sudden failure. Blah, 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 blah. Advice. Wear gloves when use resin. Clear your skin immediately if you touch resin. Go to hospital if you eat it. Yeah, probably won't do that. Operate the machine, blah, blah, blah. Keep it away from children. No children here. Computer demands, stuff like that. Power, calibration setting. All right. Yeah, probably we should just go ahead and plug it in and see how it works. Let's maybe. No, I don't want to know how the resin tastes. I think it already smells kind of nasty. So, all right. I think, let's see. How much does the resin cost? So half a kilo is delivered with the machine. I think you should also shake this up before you use it. You can't get any real refill of the FLSUN resin, but probably all of the other resin which is used on other DLP printers should be compatible. So for example, the 1How resin can also go in here, and usually like a kilo of resin is starting at 50 bucks and is going up to like 200 bucks. So this stuff is really, really expensive, way more expensive than the filament you're usually using. Okay, so I will try to not electrocute myself when I plug it in. All right, does it do anything? Nothing yet. So there is a switch on. Ooh, I heard something. Other camera. Okay. Wrong knob. Okay, I think it says starting up. Yeah. So the screen is kind of horrible. Let's see. Ah, there we go. Okay, as I have said before, this is probably a rebrand of the mini machine or micro, what's it called, micro machine? Wait a second, of the Micromake L2, which can also be seen right here in this picture. So the two M's, which we see right here, are the logo of the Micro Machine company stuff. So they have changed some of the hardware, but the software is still the same as with the other one. Okay. It's got to be pretty sweet working on metal 3D printing all day. Yeah, it's really interesting working with these very expensive machines. I enjoy it a lot. And there aren't really that many around who can also do what they really enjoy in their free time, also at work. And metal 3D printing is something totally cool. Okay, but without further ado, let's see what the screen says. Auto leveling, remove model, clean box, loose screws next. I don't know what that means. I think we'll just take a look at the manual for a second and see what they're telling us. Go to the auto calibration. Does it say that we need to clean something before? Nope. Nope, doesn't say right here. Okay, I think the first thing we need to do is loosen the 4 screws which are up here, which are used for leveling the printer. There is an Allen key delivered with the machine, so I will just open these. Let's go to the big screen again. What's chat saying? There is nothing cured in the vat. Maybe somebody of you has an idea if I can clean the vat with isopropanol, or if I shouldn't clean it at all, because there is some dust in here and I'm quite sure that this is not the best for the print quality later. Okay, so this is, well, not completely loose yet. Okay, so the table right here is loose. You can remove this right here for, well, removing your prints later, but I will slide this in and fix it in place, because otherwise leveling will not be working. Clean it with isopropanol. I am going to do that. What did I miss? I think I should also probably clean the aluminum plate down here. So, well, let's remove this again. Let's get some paper towels. These are probably not the best ones because they're not lint-free, but yeah, it's not going to kill us. Okay, so this is the aluminum plate. It looks as if, well, this is just sandblasted to get kind of a rough surface that the first layer is sticking better to it. So this is clean. Let's get this in here. The manual, I haven't seen anything about cleaning the vat. Router plastic container, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it's telling me something later, but nothing in the beginning before leveling the bed. Yeah, Chimpera, I don't really see a difference between a DLP printer and a backlit LCD screen, because isn't a projector the same? That you have a light source and a screen in front of it, and then a lens? I'm quite sure that this thing goes under the category of DLP printing. I don't want to ruin the sheet which is in here, so it's a little dirty and there is some dust on it, so I'll just wipe it clean. Oh, and even some chips are on there. Yeah, no skipping ahead at the moment, still live. You gotta stay with me a little longer if you want to see some print results, but everybody who is staying longer will also see what the Prusa is making. Okay. What's the lifespan of this printer? So I think there aren't really so many parts which can get bad. So the only moving thing is really just the Z-axis we have right here. What I will definitely get is more of these plastic sheets which are inside of the vat, because if you puncture them, they're gone. And this is a special material, so you can't just use like cling wrap or something like that. Okay, so I'll just screw this back into place, and then I think we will do the leveling procedure. Okay, this is good. Sorry, I just need to check chat for a second. Okay, yeah, let's change the camera again. Sorry for the black screen, but I don't have two HDMI grabbers because they're so expensive. Okay, so the screen is kind of horrible because the viewing angle is, well, not the best. So let's see, let's just go through the wizard. And see what it tells us. Okay, so I hit next, and what it is doing now, damn it, is it is slowly lowering the Z-axis. I think until the build plate, which we have right here, well, touches the bottom of the vat. Then we will fix these screws again, and then we should be all leveled. DLP uses chips with tiny mirrors. I think this is not right. I think if you are using a laser and tiny mirrors, you are talking about SLA, stereolithography. But actually, I think this is also stereolithography, because you are creating a three-dimensional... No, screws are not tight. This is fine, but thanks for the info. Well, yeah, it is turning really slowly. But I think they're using a really high micro stepping, because you are working with way lower layer heights in here, or you are able to work with way lower layer heights with such a printer compared to an FDM printer. Okay, so this is fine. Yeah, it takes a while. I think you don't want to be leveling this thing like every day, but probably always after you have removed the complete print plate, you should re-level the printer again, that it's level and at the right height. Yeah, probably the printer is not rotating at its maximum speed, but you also don't want to have the table right here or your print plate crashing into your LCD screen. Let's get this a little higher. Okay, so now, now we are directly in the vat. Let's see. Okay. What's the manual saying? Okay, so it's down on the LCD screen, and I think we are now just tightening these screws again. I will gently tighten them, that I, don't move the table again. Maybe even do a crisscross pattern. Okay. Okay. Oop. This one's already bad. Oh, come on. Okay, so one of the screws is already a little bit, well, not in its best condition anymore. Okay. So this is fine. Good. Okay. I almost fell over the lid. All right, what's it saying? Lock screws, finish calibration, done. Okay, and now the same again, it is rising. Thanks Roter Fruchtzwerg for clearing that up. But do we now know if this right here is a DLP printer, or if it's, I don't know, how is this printer called, or how is the technology called? This thing actually has Wi-Fi. Sorry. Let's see. So this will take a little longer. Let's just HDMI. Let's go back in here. And give me 1 second. Okay, what's the manual saying? Okay, we have a Wi-Fi configuration, which I will not do right now, but there seems to be a way that you can control the printer even over Wi-Fi. Manual control. Yeah, let's just see what we can do in the menu. Let's go to the main camera again. Okay. LCD, so we have the system configuration, Wi-Fi configuration. I don't want to do anything here at the moment. What's this? Okay. So this is where we can probably do a system check, where we can turn the LED on, and the LED seems to be working. Let me rise the camera a little, that you can maybe see what's going on in there. Okay, this is with the, well, just give me 1 second. Okay, just carry the camera. Okay, this is with the LED turned off. This is with it turned on. So the LED is already working, and I can now say show example, which enables an example pattern right here on the LCD. In a second. So the LCD also seems to be working. This is nice, and they even did something with the software, because now in here it says FLSUN S micro machines, or however it was called before. All right, so let me get the camera back into position. Okay, then let's turn the LED off again. So what we can do in here is clear the tank, emergency stop. I don't know what we would need to use this for. We can start the leveling process in here, auto shutdown, normal printing, auto home. Yeah, and some manual controls, which are also working. I think that's kind of nice. Home. All right. I guess the next thing for us to do is put some resin in the vat. I'll probably remove my watch before. I don't want to get any resin on that one. What's chat saying? Shake the resin well. I'll do that. Let's maybe get some of these nice gloves on my hand. Okay. No, there is no option to home X and Y. I don't know why, but yeah, that seems to be a pretty big flaw. The only thing which is bothering me with shaking the resin right before we start the print is that we are getting air bubbles into the resin, and we don't want that to happen, because I think it's probably gonna affect the quality of our prints. Okay, so the manual seems to be pretty big. It has 60 pages. Oops, sorry. It has 60 pages. Talking about all of the menu steps, how to load a file, STL, blah blah blah, slicing file. Well, I don't want to read that at the moment. Wi-Fi printing option, that looks pretty interesting, but I think that's also not something which I'll try out right now. Model slicing, I want to know if they're telling us how we add the resin to the printer and how much we actually need. Blah 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 blah. Oh, come on. Model cleaning. I don't know. If they are not telling me anything, I'll probably just pour a little of the resin into the vat, and then we'll start with one of the test prints. Yeah, it doesn't seem... Maybe I've missed it, but this should be straightforward. 1/3 of the tank, don't overfill, yeah. Resin should be stirred, not shaken. Let's search for resin. Search has finished, no resin found. The reason for this is probably that this right here is no real text. These are actually picture pages, like something scanned. You see? So yeah, you can search in this document, which is kind of bad. Well, anyway, I think with the help of all of you, we will be able to fill this thing up and get it printing. So I have shaken the bottle. Let's get it open and see how it smells. Okay, it's sealed with some wrapping. How does it work? Just peel it off. I just peel it off. Come on. I just don't want to be too aggressive and then spill everything over my table. This is sealed quite well. Yeah, doesn't work. I'll just take a knife and open it. Wait. Did I do something wrong? Okay, so there we go. Okay, so the resin definitely has a smell, but it's not... It's okay. It's not pleasant, but it's okay. All right. So I guess we're set up. The UV LED is turned off. That's also a good thing. So I'll just pour some of the resin inside. Let's make sure that you're also able to see what I'm seeing. Where is chat? Chat is right here. Okay. So let's just pour some in. Yeah. Ooh. So it's really runny. It's nothing like the stuff I'm used to from so the normal epoxy. Okay. Yeah, as I've just said, stirring or shaking the bottle wasn't the best idea, because now we have tons of tiny bubbles which are in the resin. But yeah, we can't do anything about that at the moment. Okay. Is chat still alive, or are you just Yep. Okay. I will remove the thumb drive again. So the one which is the table is leveled properly. Oh, do you mean? Okay. Yeah, probably my table right here. It is not 100% level. I can see that. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's gonna be fine. The color of the resin has a really light yellowish color, which looks nice. It's kind of pleasant. Okay, so I'll just insert the thumb drive, and we actually have two USB ports here, right here in the back. And I hope that there are some sample prints on the machine. Okay, so let's see. We have the SD card 1, FLSUN, FLSUN. No. Let's go one folder back. Test models. I think MMS is the proprietary format for what the printer is using. And we have Cobra rings, we have Diamond Sphere, we have Fish Ring, or we have Zombie Hunting, which is probably the Zombie Hunter. I have no clue how long these prints are going to take. But I will choose the Hunter. Maybe we will get some information on how long the print time will be. No, it's saying nothing. It just is telling me now that the Zombie Hunter has been selected. It's telling me my current Z position, ready to print. And I guess if chat is not saying anything else, I will start with the print. We're waiting for the smoke. I think we'll give it a shot. Let's hit start. Start printing. Okay. Okay, so a fan just turned on. Oops. Okay, I think we have screwed something up, because I think we need to move the print bed to the 0 position. Is that right? Because it just started with curing the resin. Damn it. Okay, let's see how we start a print. So somehow the z-axis is moving again into, is moving upwards. So So there is one tiny problem now, that there has already been some resin which started curing. I hope this will not affect our print. Okay, so what I did now is I have selected start level, so I hope that the printer will now go into the 0 position, and then we can start the print again. Well, as I said, there is already some resin in here which has already been cured. I think I will try to remove... Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is not working. It's stuck quite well on the... Well, we'll see. I guess we'll find out pretty soon if the first layer is sticking. To be honest, I don't feel 100% comfortable yet working with the resin because yeah, I'm just not used to. Let's give it a second. Yeah, I guess it's running, I'm pretty sure it's running Linux. I don't know if there's a Raspberry Pi inside. There's some ARM processor probably where some custom version of Linux is running there. And this is something really good because there used to be other sorts of these printers where you had to have a computer connected all the time to the machine, and well, if the PC did an update, if it got into sleep mode, always your print was ruined. So having everything contained into one machine right here is perfect, because you can just put it somewhere in the basement where you are not bothered with the smell of the resin, and then just yeah, print from there. Everybody's saying that I should remove the cured resin. I just do not know how to properly do that. Yeah, well, yeah, I guess I hope that the resin is not that sensitive to the studio lights I have in here, hopefully. But it already gets kind of... I have some gel right here on the side. Probably as soon as it starts printing, I will put the lid on. Yeah, damn it. I didn't think that the resin was that sensitive. Okay. So there is the first layer from before. Okay. Good. Okay, so just let it get clear tank, printing. Let's get it back to the start level. And then let's start the print. Okay, so the printer is not the quietest, to be honest. So there is a fan right here in the back. It's a 40 millimeter fan, which is blowing quite a bit, but yeah, still better than a CR10. Okay, so we are at the start level. And let's see. So if I hit start, does it start from 0 again? Stop printing. Okay. Let's see, start printing, yes. Okay, so the LED is on. The first and I guess the second layer, I think, are exposed a little longer than the other layers. And I think for the next layers, the exposure time is set to like 10 seconds each layer. And this is also something interesting if you compare this technology against for example, the one with a laser, which is used in the Formlabs printers. So with such a printer where you have the LCD screen, it always takes, so the print time is always just depending on the height of your part. This means that if you're only printing one part, it's at a height of like 20 millimeters, it will take the same amount of time as if you would print like 20 parts, well, all together. Okay, how long it's going to take? Yeah, I think I'll just wait for another minute until the first layer is done, and then add the lid on the printer. Oh, okay, so first layer is done, so it moved up the bed a little, that new resin can flow well under it, and now it's doing the second layer. And now it should do that actually repeatedly, layer by layer by layer. It's kind of messy, to be honest, and there is some like gelatinous stuff forming right here on the side. I don't know if this is from my studio light curing part of the resin, or if it's normal with the UV light from below. What's the minimum layer height? I don't know what the minimum layer height for such a machine is, but you can go down to 10 microns, so 0.01 millimeters. But then your print will take ages. I think the standard parameter for such a machine is set to like 100 or 80 microns or something like that. But the thinner the layers are, the more details you will have, but the longer your print will take. The cost of resin, yeah, as Ignore My Chan just said that a kilo is usually around 50 to 200 bucks. So this is quite expensive, or way more expensive than normal FDM printing. Der Russe, what's the difference between SLA and DLP? We had kind of a discussion about that before. Let's just say this is DLP. With this technology, you have a... Let's change the screen. With this technology, you have a screen just where your part is being built, and a UV lamp before. And each layer, only the part of the LCD screen lets the light through where your part needs to be cured. With a SLA printer, you have a UV laser down in the base, and, well, 2 rotating mirrors where you can adjust the position of the laser. So SLA printing is more or less just like upside down FDM printing in resin. But this technology is kind of totally different, because, as I said before, right here, the build time of your part is always depending just on the height of your part and not the amount of material you need to cure. If you're doing SLA printing, again, just similar to FDM printing, your print time is depending on the amount of material you want to build. Okay, so I haven't used the stopwatch, but I guess around every 10 seconds the print blade is rising and then it's going back down again. But as I said, since I already have some more or less gelatinous resin right here on the side, and I don't know where this is coming from, I probably put the lid on. It will not be that interesting for you, but I don't want to ruin the resin now right at the beginning. So let's just take the lid, put it on here. And yeah, let it run for a while, and maybe, I don't know, in some minutes we might be seeing if our part is sticking to the print blade or if it's released and we only have like pieces of cured resin down in the vat. Yeah, so what also would be interesting is if we could remove the thumb drive now, but I don't want to test that out because yeah, first print just started and I don't want to mess that one up. What do you mean with what live have a power cable? So this comes with a power brick. It's, let's see, give me a second. It's 12 volts, 6 amp power brick, so a small laptop power brick, which is used for the printer. Let's see what the display is saying. I guess I'll move the camera a little bit closer. Sorry for the shakiness. So we are already 1.8% done. This is going to take a while. But we already have almost 1 millimeter of our part built. 18 of 900 slices. Resin printers are supposed to be quite fast. How big is the difference to a PLA printer? Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. So I think the part we are printing right now takes way longer than with an FDM printer. But if you would just populate the whole build plate with the same model, I think it will be faster than FDM, especially with the quality of the details you're getting. Yeah, I think as just suggested in the chat, I guess for the stream I won't be running the machine for like the whole duration of the print, because this is going to be quite boring. I think I will have my dinner in a bit, and when we have like maybe 5 millimeters printed of the part, I will remove it, see if it's stuck to the print plate, how the details are, and then just try it out on my own when I'm not bothering you, and maybe get a second opinion in another video later. So already 2.8% finished. Okay, sorry, I'm back. why don't I upgrade my Prusa with multicolor? I'm not a huge fan of Bowden printers, and converting my Prusa to multi-material would directly result in that. For this reason, it is still staying a single color. I hope that I will sometime get a dual printhead printer to exactly tackle problems where it needs water soluble support. As I have said before, I haven't done any SLA, DLP, or call it however you want, printing before. So I'm quite sure that you could tweak the print settings to make it faster. It is kind of limited by the amount of light which is emitted by the LED. So I don't know how many watts the LED has. Maybe there are some other resins which cure faster. For this reason, you don't need to expose each layer for the 10 seconds we're currently doing. Yeah, I don't know. I have to fiddle around with this thing for a while. Maybe also try out different resins in the future and see what you can do with it. I'll just move it a bit out of the way. That's... I can have something to eat in a bit. And since the fan, which is right here in the back, is not directly blowing into my face. Stefan, did you already talk about all the consumables you need for this printer? So kind of the only consumables you need is resin, which is kind of expensive, and then the Teflon sheets which go between the LCD screen and your print bed. They are also not the cheapest one. I don't know how long they last. I think it depends on what kind of resin you use and stuff like that. I need to see where I can find these sheets for the VAT right here in Germany. If somebody knows, please maybe leave a comment after the video has been saved to YouTube, that everybody can read that. Also, if anybody of you has an idea where I can get UV curable resin here in Germany, so different brands, because this is just something which is from China. Also, please leave a comment under the video as soon as it is well, stored on normal YouTube and not live anymore, so that I can check out what kind of resins there are which are compatible to that printer, and which ones I can also, well, get here in Germany. Which model is currently printed? We are printing the Zombie Hunter. I don't know how much resin we need for the print, but you will always need to have an excess of resin in the vat. So the amount of resin you need to put into your printer is always more than well, the size of your part is. I think probably we only would need like 5 to 10 milliliters of resin for the print, but I probably have poured in 50 or 100 milliliters now in the vat. So yeah, the air which is coming out right here of the bag is, well, not hot, but you are able to look inside to the UV LED, and I'm quite sure that all of the parts which get some of the UV light will not be happy about that. So I don't know how long you can really use such a printer before all the plastic parts and stuff like that just break apart. Is the resin toxic? It's probably not healthy. So yeah, it's kind of toxic. It's irritant, it smells, it's nasty stuff. And this is something which is really a big downside when working with resin printers, that it's messy. You have to wear gloves. You don't want to have any kids which are around that. You don't want to have the printer running in the office where you are working. And stuff like that. So it has its benefits, especially with the details you are able to print. And the UV curable resins usually are way more temperature resistant than normal FDM materials, or at least PLA. But you need to mess around with that stuff, and this is not the nicest thing. Yeah, I have seen the Anycubic Photon. I don't know how it compares. I haven't really taken a close look at the details. I'll probably do that later, but at the moment I'm still a total noob in SLA or DLP 3D printing. How are resins characterized for compatibility? As I said, I'm kind of new to that technology, but I am quite sure that you need to watch out for the wavelength of the light which is used for curing the resin in here. I think this is a 405 nanometer UV LED. So the resin you are using needs to be compatible with that. The energy density, I think is not really critical, because if you have a resin which needs more UV energy, you just need to cure each layer for a longer amount of time. I think the part is still sticking to the print plate, because after each layer I hear something pop off from somewhere, and I think this is the part being released from the transparent sheet of plastic which is down there. But maybe let's take another look on the inside and see if we can already find out if you can already see something. So let's switch the camera. Okay, so the part we have printed is not yet big enough that I can take a look under it. But give me 1 second. Let's wait until... Yeah, I always hear something being released from the plastic sheet below. So I guess it's still working. It's still working. Let's take a look at the screen again. We are already 6% done. What else? 60 layers, and our part should be 2.9 millimeters high. Any more questions? Before I start grabbing something to eat. Do you need to post cure the final print? Yes, you do. But you don't need any additional equipment. There is a UV LED directly here in the box. So when you're done printing, you just put your part somewhere on the desk, put the lid over it, remove the power cable from the printer and plug it in up here. And then the UV light is going. I don't know how long it takes, but I guess in like an hour you should be all set. Hi Robin. Nice seeing you here. What's for dinner today? You can take a look at the description. The recipe I'm doing is in there. So no meats today for all you vegetarians and vegans. We will have, I think the recipe is called Ultimate Carrots. Some really nice carrots which are currently in the Prusa. Next time there's going to be probably something meaty again, but I just wanted to try out something different today. And I think we will have that in a bit. I'm not 100% happy eating right here on the table where I was just fiddling around with the resin. But if I pay attention, it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, Colin also just said that the UV LED should be 405 nanometers. And this is also what I had in mind. No, Joseph didn't reach out yet about my abuse. He retweeted some of my pictures I made, or some of my tweets, but he didn't say that I voided the warranty yet. But I have actually modded the printer because so for my first sous vide cooking. Sous vide cooks on my Prusa, I was just setting the bed to a specific temperature, but now I have actually made myself an additional temperature probe, so the normal glass bead thermistor, put that into epoxy, and I am now just switching the cables from the bed thermistor to my external thermistor, put that into the pot, and the Prusa is perfectly now controlling the temperature of the bath, and this is great. Fabian, yeah, you are totally right. On the display it shows not percent, it shows per mil. I don't know if this is the proper English term for that, but like how many thousands are already done. So yeah, with 65 1000s we have 6.5%. Yeah, I guess so. Since this will still take another while, I grab myself something to eat because I already get kind of hungry, and it's already almost 7:30 p.m. right here in Germany. I'll have my carrots, nice, healthy, and vegan, and then we'll take a look how the print is doing. As I said, I won't let the print finished. I will do that overnight today, and tomorrow, if you're following me on Twitter, I'll post the results. Today we'll just take a look if the part was sticking to the print plate, how it looks, and everything else I'll be doing on my own during the next days. Okay, let's see. So let's talk about food. There is a reason why this is called CNC Kitchen. So I have some sliced carrots right here in the pot, which have been in there for around 2 hours at 80 degrees Celsius. They are marinated with orange, thyme, a little salt, olive oil, and yeah, I guess that's it. And they should be really nice from in terms of consistency and taste. So I'll get this out. I'll have something to eat while this is still printing, and then we'll continue. So this is the custom temperature sensor. Let's turn this off. Yeah, it's really not responsible to eat something now when we have the resin around. Usually I wouldn't do that, but yeah, for your entertainment, I'll almost do anything. Okay, so hello carrots. Where are you? There you are. What's chat saying? Sliced carrots on a 3D printer. Yeah, before maybe to answer some more questions, how loud is the fan? So the fan it's not the quietest. Has almost the same noise level as a Prusa i3 Mark II. It's quieter than a CR10, but it's not, you definitely hear it. Okay, so there we go. Oh, sorry for the noise. This was covered with a piece of cling wrap just to hold the temperature and the steam in. I had to hold this down with a weight, and these are our beautiful carrots. This is so strange because, to be honest, I would have preferred to have some meat now, but I thought, yeah, let's do something different. Let's see. Beautiful. Alrighty. Well, it's definitely not as messy as the last times I did my live stream. This kind of looks like the resin I was I was using for the printer, but at the moment I'm quite sure that this is not resin. So yeah, let's give this a try and see how it tastes. Yeah, it's really nice. Recycled resin. No, this is not resin. It's just my diet for the day. But give me 1 second. I have to pass something to the boss of the house. Wait a second. Because she also would like to have some. If you get back in here after you were outside, you really start to get the smell of the resin into your nose, and it's not pleasant, to be honest. Just give me 1 second. Also, the queen wants something. Hail to the queen. There you go. What are we printing? We are printing the zombie hunter head in just like really tiny, I guess. I don't have a beer at the moment, but maybe the queen of the house is watching and can and could bring me a beer. Yeah, I spared her the resin. Oh, damn it. Maybe let's see how it tastes, and maybe next time she'll get something. There's beer coming. I'm sorry. And this is at least Austrian. I'm sorry. Maybe there's going to be some beer. Let's see. I hear something. So, beer and sausages, the German national food. Well, we don't have these many sausages. Okay, so that nobody can complain anymore, I got some good German beverages being opened with a angle. Cheers, guys and girls. Probably the I don't know, how many do we have? 2% usually are the views on the channel, and how many are watching at the moment? 149. So we should have three women actually watching the stream. So also hi to you. One is probably somebody I know. What does the sous vide sign say in the back? I'm just advertising my sous vide mod, which I use on my Prusa Mark II. Why not Tegernseer? There's only Augustiner currently in my basement, so I'm sorry. And it's hard to get Tegernseer right here. Yeah, I'm still missing a little bit the steak, but the carrots are also nice, to be honest. And why don't you see them anymore? There you go. Ah. Yeah, I'm living in Baden-Württemberg, but no Tannenzäpfle in my basement. I'm sorry. I prefer the lager over the pills. How much does it cost and where do you buy it? I guess you are still talking about the printer. The printer can be bought from GearBest. Link is in the description, and it goes for $4.99 with a coupon, where you also get half a liter of resin. Christoph, I'm living more or less directly down at the Lake Constance. So most southern Germany, or at least most southern Baden-Württemberg. How much print time left? So let's take a look at the screen. So we are already 12% done. Remaining print time is 200 minutes. This is 3 hours. And we have already printed 5.5 millimeters. As soon as I have finished my healthy carrots from the Prusa, we'll get the print out of the printer and take a look what it has already done. And I'm quite excited to see that. It's my first resin print I've ever done. Let's still take a picture and see what Joseph Prusa thinks of the carrots which came out of his printer. So as I already said before, if any one of you has an idea where here in Germany or here in Europe where I can get these pieces of plastic which go below the vat, and where I can get proper UV curable resin which is compatible with the FLSUN DLP printer, please let me know in the comments as soon as this video is stored and saved on normal YouTube. Bad temp for the carrots, 80 degrees. Still a little bit, well, not too mushy, but also not like raw. Pretty good, pretty good. But I gotta be honest, I'll have something else later. Yeah, the STL file, as always, from the carrots, you can download on my Thingiverse page. Drucktips, is there a 3D printing store in Markdorf? I know that that Filament World.de is in Ulm, which is not too far from me, but I didn't know that there was also something in Markdorf. Orange PLA for the carrots, because this is the PLA is compostable. PTG would just come out as it got into me. That sounded strange. Okay. I guess we could take another look inside and see if there is already something visible. So no more food right here in the desk. Let's take a look at our print. Okay, so as you can see, we have already 13% finished, or almost 14%. 130 layers. But there are still 200 minutes left. Okay, so let's open it up and take a look on the inside. Yeah, unfortunately, it's still not far enough to really take a look below it. Yeah, I guess just as I have said, I think I'll just stop the print right where we are and then see if there was something printed. We won't be able to resume the print, but that's okay. I'll just start a new one overnight. Yeah, all of these things like time it takes to print, print settings, slicers and stuff like that, I have never tried out. I will be working I will be working with the printer during the next weeks, and I'm quite sure that I will post more videos about it. But something which is really interesting is, as you can see right here, there is some cured resin right here at the edges. I don't know where this is coming from, because the rest of the resin is still pretty runny. Just at the sides it started to cure. I don't know if this is at the locations where it touched some of the other metal parts, but there is, yeah, like cured resin right here. Okay, yeah, as hard as it is for me, but I think I'll stop the print. Let's just wait for another layer. Let's hit stop. Stop printing, yes. And let's see. Ooh, yeah, there was something. Ooh, looks really nice. So this thing is working. We don't see lots of the zombie hunter, but it definitely stuck to the print plate. Nice. Nice. Okay, let's just get some paper towels right here on my desk. I think my lights shouldn't emit a lot of UV light, if any. So I don't know why the resin cured at some places. Okay, so this really looks gorgeous, even though it hasn't printed a lot. Yeah. All right. This is the result. I'll just close the lid again. And make sure that you guys can see what we have printed. As I said, I have stopped the print before it was finished, just because I don't wanna wait for 3 more hours now, and you probably as well. But the print stuck to the print plate. The details are really nice. So just take a look at the pillars that it has printed. Let's see. I'll go even a little bit closer to the camera. Take a look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Nothing finished. But really nice details. Really nice details. Okay. So the smell is bearable but not nice. So I wouldn't like to sit in this room for a longer period of time and then well, smelling all that stuff. So just as the bottle said, this is water washable resin. That means we don't need to use isopropanol to get the leftover parts of the resin from our part. So I have I have a bucket of water right here, and I'll just dip it in there and clean off the leftover resin, and then we will, I think, cure it for a second and remove it from the build plate and just see how it feels. Okay. The only thing where I am a bit concerned is I am not so keen on flushing this water down the drain, but yeah, I don't know. I will find out how toxic that stuff really is later. So there is really some really gummy stuff. Okay. Okay. So the water does look a little bit oily now, but the print is definitely cleaner now. I will try to remove most of the resin just with a paper towel. It would be interesting to know if anybody of you has an idea if I cure this part on the build plate, or if I put it back in, or if I remove it and then cure it. Yeah, it's kind of nasty stuff. Okay, I think this is almost clean. Before I try to cure it, I want to try out how the material feels at the moment. Is it still like like rubber, or I don't know. Well, it feels pretty well. So it's not the softest. It still has a like sticky texture on the outside. Okay, so everybody's suggesting that I remove it from the build plate, so that's what I will be doing. Let's just take an X-Acto knife. Wait, and this is sticking really well. Okay, but there we go. Okay. So this worked out pretty well. Let's maybe get another paper towel. Yeah, it's messy because also on my table now there are leftovers of resin and blah. But it looks really nice. Really, really nice. Okay. Yeah, I guess what is now left to do is I would like to cure it now. And we'll use the included UV light, which is in the lid, to well, cure our part. But before we do that, I think I'll swap gloves. Yeah, we were talking about consumables before. You definitely need gloves for that. As I said, the resin is not the most healthy thing you should get on your skin or anything else. Okay, so I'll just plug off the printer because we need the power supply for the included UV light. I will remove the lid. I think I will cover the vat with this lid right here so that it doesn't get cured by the studio lights if it is. Yeah, the big question now is how long do we need to cure the part until it's well, totally cured. Does anybody have an idea how long that takes? So there you see the UV LEDs which are in there. Maybe let's switch the cameras. Then you can also see what is going on. So I've just put it right here on this paper towel, and I just place the lid over it. Yeah, Colin. Yeah, it's not optimal because if you want to do your next print, you, well, don't have the lid for that. But yeah, you can always get like these nail UV lamps, which they use for curing like nail polish or something like that. I don't know. They are cheaply available from Amazon. They're cheaply available from Amazon, but I think it's still nice that they have this UV lamp in here, because just as a start, you don't need to purchase any additional parts. So there is everything in the package you're getting. To do your first prints. I think half a liter or half a kilo of resin will last you for, well, quite some prints if you don't mess the resin by exposing it to normal sunlight. Gloves are included. The UV curing lamp is included. I don't know how the slicer works. I need to figure out how the software works. This thing is supposedly able to be run via Wi-Fi. I also need to figure that out, but I'm not that happy on having this Chinese printer on my home Wi-Fi. So yeah, we'll see. As I said, I will be playing around with this machine for the next couple of weeks. I'll definitely do some print quality tests, but what I'm also really interested in is the performance of the material itself. Is it only really usable for like visual purposes, or are you also able to print some really tough parts with it? I don't know. I think there are some applications if you're doing really fine like gear sets or something like that. Such a machine might be pretty interesting because the resolution you're getting out of such a machine is just way different than any FDM printer, even with a 0.15 or a 0.25 millimeter nozzle. But it's not the best if you want to print big stuff. So what is this thing doing? This still feels a little sticky. What we could actually do is put it on something like a stand that it's near to the UV lamp. Do I have something around here? Yes, I do. Yeah, I think this would be the right height. Let's just take this, put this on here, and put this directly over. So now the part is near to the UV LED and the curing should be faster. So for everybody who has just joined the live stream, we are already done with printing, or at least we tried it out. So the part was printing, the part stuck to the print bed, and yeah, since I don't want to bore you for the next 3 hours by just a small table moving upwards and downwards, I thought that it's just the best thing to stop the print, take a look if everything worked out. I'll do another print overnight, and if you are following me on Twitter or something like that, I'll post some pictures tomorrow. Yeah, I guess it's time for a verdict. Assembly of the printer is straightforward. You take it out of the box, you clean the parts, you level it, and then you are more or less ready to go. Resin is included. You don't need a PC which is directly connected to the printer because it has an LCD and Linux working on there to control the LCD screen, which is really nice. It has an included slicer, so you could directly put your STL files on an SD card, put it into your into this printer, select the STLs from the touchscreen menu. The included Linux will slice your part and directly start printing, and this is pretty nice. I haven't tried it out excessively. It was now just this like 1 hour print. As I said, I will be doing more stuff on that. If you want to check out more of the specs, or if you want to buy one, there is a affiliate link in the description. If you want to support the channel, consider becoming a Patreon. PayPal donations are always welcome. And I guess that's it. Maybe before I finish, let's just take another really close look at the print that has already been finished. And this is not even sticky anymore. And I think then it's time to say goodbye and good night for me. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Oh yeah, some really nice close-ups. So these are 10 millimeters, and you can really see the resolution you're getting out of the printer. Due to the LCD screen which it is using, you get kind of this Minecraft structure, so this voxelized structure. This is just due to the printing principle, but this looks really, really nice. Take a look at these details. Beautiful. Where are we? Look at that. So these are support pillows. Just as with FDM printing, you will also need support structure. It cannot print into air or right here into resin. But this is amazing to see the amount of details you're getting. Totally nice. Awesome. Maybe let's just, yeah, so if I'm touching these support pillows, you can already see that the resin is probably not totally cured yet, because they are still kind of flexible. I need to figure out how long you need to cure the part until it's really totally usable. But this is nice. This is really nice. I'm really looking forward to yeah, getting more prints. You can see these stair steps right here. These are just from the individual layers which have been printed, but just imagine how small the resolution is. So this is this is a resolution of 0.05 millimeters, which is barely nothing. So I'm usually printing my prints on the Prusa in 0.2 millimeter layers. So this is like 8 times more details in the Z direction than you would usually print on an FDM printer. But also that makes it a little bit slower. Okay. All right, are there any more questions in chat? What is the actual model? So the model this would have been in the end is the zombie hunter, which is also often printed as a just a test how nice your printer can print. Okay, I guess that's it. It was a pleasant experience. I'm really looking forward to doing more. If you want to find out more, check the links in the description. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe if you like that stuff. I think there will be a designated video coming out for the printer as soon as I have tested it out and learned what you can really do with it. But until then, yeah, I guess, as I said before, leave links down in the comments as soon as this video is online for where we can find refills for the resin and also the spare sheets of plastic which go under the vat. And then I guess it's just to say goodbye. Have a good night. And yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.